You are Locked On Marlins Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, fish fanatics, and welcome to your Locked On Marlins Postcast yet again. Here we go. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We are here on your Saturday night. And not a good Saturday night for the Miami Marlins. They get flexed on. They get shut out, whatever you want to call it. 8-0. The Cleveland Guardians, first place Cleveland Guardians, come into town and just pound the Marlins. Their pitching was great from Ben Lively. Their offense, led by Jose Ramirez, was phenomenal as well. And we will tell you all about that game and get you ready for tomorrow in the series finale. Look, it's 1-1 now. The first place Guardians coming into town, and the Marlins just could not get anything going offensively tonight. Couldn't get anything or anybody out defensively either. More like it. And there we are with your Locked On Marlins Postcast. I want to thank you, as always, for making your Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And tonight in particular, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, and use code all lowercase, LockedOnMLB. That's prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. The code is lowercase, LockedOnMLB, for a first deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. And what a shot in the arm it was yesterday. The first place Guardians coming into town. The Marlins with a beautiful job and a beautiful victory in yesterday's game. Weathers left with a finger issue, and they still were able to get it done. The bullpen was on point and on fire in that game yesterday, but obviously today is a different story, and it was not a good night for Miami. In any way that you looked at it, you know, they're just giving up home runs, just all the way across the board. It was not a good night for Miami. Let's take a look at some of the things that happened in tonight's game. First with the scoring, and we'll tell you about some of the things that happened offensively for the Guardians. They're a scary team, man. Their power hitters hit for contact. Their power hitters get the bat on the ball and get like little bleeders that fall for base hits on an 0-2 count. I've never seen anything like what Naylor and Ramirez, these power hitters. Ramirez reminds me in some ways of Barry Bonds, because he allows the pitcher to keep going until he just gives that pitcher enough rope, just gives him enough rope to hang himself. And he just allows the pitcher to make the mistake. He doesn't chase the bad pitches. He waits for the pitch he wants. He's an expert at working counts, and just a really nice job by him. And more on that in just a minute. But he's the guy who got it started for Cleveland in the top of the first inning. You have, and it would have been worse if Kwan didn't get caught stealing. Just saying, catcher to shortstop, and that was something that really helped Miami in that case because, you know, obviously it's a 2-run homer. You just do the basic math there, and, you know, Bethancourt with a nice job. But what ended up happening is they ran themselves out of an extra run there. And you don't know for sure if there was still a runner on base. The pitch would have been different, might not have hit the home run. But, you know, all you can go by is what happened. So Kwan singles to right, and the sinker just wasn't sinking all that well for Munoz. Roddery Munoz did not look all that sharp tonight, but Kwan gets caught stealing. Bethancourt throws down to Brujan, and they get him. And then on the next pitch, Ramirez homers to right center. I mean, just a bomb, too. 401 feet, and just a shot by Jose Ramirez. He loves working that count. He waits for his pitch, and he allows the pitcher to make their mistakes. And I love that about him. What a hitter. Jose Ramirez, league-leading, 61st RBI, major league leading, 18 homers. He's, 4 behind Aaron Judge. Yankees getting crushed by the Dodgers again, by the way, today. And so, yeah, the Guardians get out to the early lead, 1-0, and then bottom of the first, the Marlins go 1-2-3, ground out. And Lively has been great. His ERA's in the twos, low twos for Cleveland this season, but this was his best outing of the year. More on his numbers in a second. Top of the second inning, the Guardians get a 2-out walk, 2 walks in a row with 2 outs, but then Schneemann flies out, and that's the end of that inning. So it's still 1-0. The Marlins in the second, boom, boom, boom. Look, they were shut out on 3 hits for 5 innings by Ben Lively. And if I say Blake Lively, Don't be mad at me. You know what I'm saying? So one of those things. That's Ryan Reynolds' wife, of course. But anyway, top of the third inning, the Guardians would make it 2-zip. Kwan walks. He had himself a day. And he did. He singled and got caught stealing, but then he walked, and then, he had himself a day. More on him in a minute. But Jimenez doubles to right. Kwan goes to third. Then Ramirez flies out to left, but not deep enough to drive the run home. Right after that, though, Naylor singles to right. Kwan scores. It's 2-zip. Marlins again, with a one-out double from Brujan, and then nothing doing. Lively still cruising. Guardians in the top of the fourth go 1-2-3 for the first time. Marlins bottom of the fourth, 1-2-3. Again, actually an infield single from Bell in there. So one of their 3 hits off Lively, I forgot to tell you, was an infield hit. Then the fifth inning happened. And I don't need to talk about anything else but the fifth inning. After the fifth inning, literally nothing. The Marlins, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. They did nothing offensively. So the game literally ends, in effect, in the top of the fifth inning, and Schneemann leads off with a walk against Roddery Munoz. And then Steven Kwan gets that pitch inside right on the hands, how lefties do, kind of flick those wrists and just jerk it right over that right field wall, over the bullpen out there on a line drive shot, 380 feet. But Kwan, the leadoff guy, with a 2-run homer, scores Schneemann, and it's 4-0. Jimenez on a fielding error from the pitcher, Declan Cronin, who had just come into the game, and he's been great lately, but not tonight. Not a good night for him whatsoever. So then Ramirez walks, Jimenez goes to second. Naylor singles to left, Jimenez scored. Fry doubles to right, Ramirez scores, Naylor goes to third. Manzardo with a sac fly to center, Naylor scores, Fry to third, then Brennan singles to right, Fry scores, it's 8-0. Freeman pops out, Schneemann walks, Brennan to second, then Kwan lines out to center on a bullet. Could have been a lot worse if not for that, and him being caught, getting caught stealing a base in the first inning. And so overall, all the way across the board, just not a good night for Miami. They got smoked by the Cleveland bats. They got shut down by the Cleveland pitching staff. 5 innings from Lively, but it wasn't just him. And how many times are we seeing the Marlins make opposing pitchers look like Sandy Koufax and Trevor Hoffman? You know what I'm saying? So it was 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 6 in the fifth for Cleveland. Kwan goes 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 ribbies, and the homer, 2 walks. So he's on base 4 out of 5 times today. And the one time they got him out twice. They caught him stealing once, but the one time they retired him, he didn't reach base. He smoked a line drive to center. Seeing that ball beautifully. He's hitting 371 on the season. How about that for Steven Kwan? Just killing it. 371 on the year. And then you look at Jimenez after that, and Ramirez hit his league leading, or drove in his league leading 61st run, 18th homer in the game. He drives in 2 runs, scores 2. And then Naylor, 2 for 5, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored as well. So a good job by them. Meanwhile, so for Lively on the bump today, he gave up 3 hits in 5 innings, 1 strikeout, just 65 pitches. His ERA is 2.59. 2.59 ERA for Ben Lively, who goes to 6-2 on the season. He only throws 5 innings. Come on, man. What happened to the days when the starters actually pitched deep into games? I don't want to get started on that. Anyway, Henkes goes an inning, allows 1 hit, strikes out 2. And Avila, 3-inning save, gives up just 2 walks, no hits, 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. And what a job he did. Pedro Avila. And he was phenomenal. Meanwhile, the Marlins on their side, nothing doing. Jazz Chisholm 1 for 3. And then Gray came in at third base, pinch hitter, nothing. De La Cruz, 0 for 4. Bell, 1 for 3 with an infield single. Dane Myers, 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter coming in the game. Berger, 0 for 4. Sanchez, 0 for 4. Edwards at shortstop had a hit and 2 strikeouts. Gordon, 0 for 3. Brujan, 1 for 2 with the only extra base hit of the day, a double for the Marlins. Bethancourt, 0 for 3 on the bump. Roddery Munoz, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks. 5 hits and 4 walks. Send him down. What's he doing in the big leagues? Send him down. 5 hits, 4 walks, 4 earned runs, and 4. Send him down. I'm serious. It's cold-hearted. I don't care. Freeze. Brrr. Send him down. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and enough is enough. If you look at the lines, I'm more on Munoz in a minute. And Declan Cronin gets a little bit of a pass, right? In a third of an inning, 3 hits and a walk. He retired 1 hitter. 3 hits and a walk. He retired 1. It's a bad ratio. Terrible. 3 earned runs. And obviously, the fourth one should have been earned because the error was on him. I always love that about pitchers. It's an unearned run when they're the ones who commit the error. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, and who cares if a run's earned? They scored. And then Brazoban, 3 2/3, only gave up 2 hits, did a real nice job. He's been great lately. And then how about this? Rivera comes in. Emmanuel Rivera makes his second pitching appearance of the season. Of course, he's an infielder. And he pitched better than Munoz or Cronin, which tells a big part of the tale of today's game. But send him down. Sixto Sanchez is on the IL. He was terrible. Send him down. Send him down. You cannot keep sending these guys out there. You just can't do it. You can't keep saying they're not big league pitchers the way they're performing. Big league pitchers do not get ripped like that. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I have a real problem with it. I mean, Trevor Rogers is 1-7. He's 1-7, and he's getting the ball tomorrow. What are they doing in the big leagues? What are you doing in the big leagues if you're 1-7 with an ERA of almost 6? What are you doing here? Why? What's the point? What's the purpose? Why on God's green earth are you here? I mean, it sounds terrible for me to say that. And I'm fixing the YouTube right now because it's Trevor Rogers pitching tomorrow for the Marlins. I don't know why I got that wrong. And he's 1-7 for crying out loud. I mean, I'm getting tired of this. Whatever happened to having to earn your spot in the big leagues? Whatever happened to having to perform when you got to the show? I don't want to go too negative on this, but good. I mean, I can't even handle it anymore. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. More on that in a minute. He's 1-7. What are you doing in the bigs? Send him down. Send him down. Can't tell me you couldn't find pitchers in your organization who couldn't do better than that. I don't know. Now I feel bad. Shouldn't feel bad. I mean, it's big leagues, right? It is the big leagues. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. It's brought to you tonight by Prize Picks. And you know we love Prize Picks here. And I talk about Prize Picks every single day. The easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports is Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB. Use the code, all lowercase, LockedOnMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for a first deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. Locked On Marlins postcast rolling on in just a minute. Talk more about this lack of offense today. There's a lot of guys on this team who need to start pulling their weight, or they need to find new jobs. It's not my place to send them down or to trade them or whatever, but I mean, come on. Come on. It's the major leagues. We'll continue in just a minute. It's your Locked On Marlins postcast, wherever you get your podcast, plus right here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. You see the overlay up there for Policy Genius, and what a company they are. I'll tell you more about Policy Genius right now. And you guys know how important life insurance is, right? You know, for the peace of mind, obviously knowing as a man, I have 3 kids, and I want to know that they're taken care of. In the event that, I mean, I'm indestructible, but in the event that something happens to me, I want to know that they are taken care of. And I know with Policy Genius, they are. Policy Genius, the name says it all. It's one word, inventing their own language, put it in the dictionary, because no one, and I mean no one, has ever been like Policy Genius before. A lot of life is unpredictable, my friend, but a good life insurance plan can take a lot of that unpredictability out and give your family a financial safety net to protect against some of the unknowns that life can throw our way, right? You never know what can happen as we spin around this rock on the one turn that we get here. Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It makes choosing the right policy for you and your family easy and quick. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 a year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams, and helps you easily compare options from America's top insurers in just a few clicks. Their award-winning team and their agents can even walk you through the process step by step. Your work life insurance policy may not offer enough protection for your family's needs. Even worse, it may not come with you if you leave your job, and we all want that freedom to do what we want, right? Well, Policy Genius also has no incentive to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance, and trust is key in this world in any way we can get it. These days, they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best fit for their needs with Policy Genius. So what are you waiting for? I ask you, right now. I implore you, get peace of mind by finding the right life insurance with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. Life insurance is so important. You know that. And you are protected with Policy Genius. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. And wow, what a game that was for the Cleveland Guardians. Just a stinker for the Miami Marlins. More on the Marlins' 8-0 loss in just a second. Anemic offense, terrible pitching. They have 3 guys in their rotation right now who don't belong in the big league. Sixto Sanchez is on the IL. Roddery Munoz all over the field. He gets ripped today. And Trevor Rogers is 1-7. I don't believe that they should be on a big league roster right now performing like this, but we'll see. You can always turn it around. Rogers has had a good outing or two, and I'd like to see him change things around and really get it going. Meanwhile, speaking of changing things around and really getting things going, have you guys watched Locked On Sports Today yet? Make the switch now. Locked On Sports Today is a free 24/7 streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming that you get. Fox Sports, ESPN, no more screaming. Chill, bro. Chill. Anyway, Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And we got 83 million people in our audience. Thank you so much for helping us make Locked On your number one every single day. Here we are about halfway through the show. 8-0 Guardians beat the Marlins in Miami, and we took you through the box score. We took you through the scoring and the play-by-play. The recap is out. We'll look at a preview. Of course, the Guardians go to 41-22, 20-14 on the road. The Marlins 22-42, 12-24 at home. And here's a little bit of that recap in case you missed it and you are just joining us now. I swear I clicked on it. Where are you at? It ain't where you from, it's where you at. I swear to you, it was just up there. Where did you go? There it is. Come on. No story available. All right, we'll get to that in just a minute. But taking a look at that box score and run up and down that Cleveland lineup, this is a special team. I mean, you're looking at this team, right? And we'll get to tomorrow's game as well. But it's over under 8.5. Cleveland minus 170 for tomorrow. It's a that was today, actually. I'll give you tomorrow's numbers in just a second. But when you're looking at the standings, they have a 3-game lead over Kansas City. The Royals at 39-26. The Twinkies 8.5 games back in the American League Central Division. The Yankees have the best record in the American League, although you'd never know it. The way they're playing against the Dodgers right now, they're 45-21. The Orioles 2.5 back at 41-22. Hang in tough right there. And the Guardians are 41-22. 2 games ahead of the Royals in the win column, 4 ahead in the loss column. The 3-game lead, Royals 39-26. Mariners 36-30, 5-game lead in the West. But the second best record in the American League, tied with Baltimore, are the Cleveland Guardians, and they've been good. They can hit, they can pitch. Lively's got a great arm. You got Ramirez. I mean, they're just a really, really good team. And more on Cleveland in a minute. Of course, the Phillies are lapping the field, 45-19. They're now 9 games up on Atlanta. They're playing .700 baseball. Smoke the Mets across the pond. Bryce Harper did the soccer slide. I don't know anything about soccer, nor do I care about soccer, nor would I ever watch soccer to even know or care what the slide was, but it was an homage to an English soccer club. I know that. Anyway, Bryce Harper. The Dodgers are 41-25, and they are 5 games in back of the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. The Yankees 45-21, and just killing it right now, man. But not against the Dodgers. And when you're looking at this Cleveland lineup, and we talked about them being in first place, we talked about some of the things that they do, right? This team can hit, it can pitch. They got 40 wins already, right? And we'll get that. Ben Lively won his 5th straight start today. We'll get to that in just a minute. But man, oh man, this Cleveland Guardians team. Ramirez at 272. They don't hit for average so great, but 18 home runs, 61 RBIs, and you're looking at the kid who's hitting leadoff right now. He's played 37 games. He's hitting 371 in 151 ABs you know what I mean? So he doesn't qualify to be at the top of the leaderboard. Enough ABs, but obviously just smoking the ball all over the field. Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor. Just looking at these guys, I mean, Josh Naylor's got 16 homers. Ramirez has 18. 61 RBIs, 47 for Naylor. I mean, this team just really hits the ball. And then when you're looking at pitching, Ben Lively won his 5th straight start today, but Logan Allen has 6 wins to lead the team. How about that? Logan Allen, 6-3. Tanner Bibby is 4-1. Lively now 6-2. Unbelievable, man. Just all the way across the board, the Guardians are just a very good team. Just a very good team. They do it all. And I'm amazed at how good their power hitters are at just kind of flicking the ball with 2 strikes. Naylor did it twice today. Ramirez almost makes you throw him his pitch. Dude's unbelievable. I love watching him hit. Let's see, make sure this thing doesn't play on me. Nope. Stephen Kwan's homer today. So, all right, here's the recap. Ben Lively, 5th straight start that he won. Today, Jose Ramirez, Stephen Kwan homered. The Guardians beat the Miami Marlins 8-0 on Saturday night. Lively 6-2, 3 hits, walked nobody, struck out 1. His ERA is 2.59. He only went 5 innings. Come on, man. Come on. Really? Sam Hentges pitched the 6th. Pedro Avila finished the 4-hitter for the first big league save of his career. 7th shutout of the year for the Guardians. 6th time the Marlins have been shut out. They've lost 5 and 6. They're a National League worst 22-42. 4 hits or fewer for the 9th time this season. They only advanced 2 runners into scoring position. Shake this team up. What is going on here? Munoz just recalled from AAA Jacksonville. 4 runs, 5 hits, 5 walks, and 4+ innings. Don't even unpack his bag. Put him on a bus. Don't even let him go on a plane. Send him back. Send him back. That's not a big league start. That's not a big league performance. Send him back. Don't let him unpack his bags. You deserve to be in Jacksonville. Go back to Florida. Anyway, Ramirez with his 18th home run. First inning leads the major league, 61 ribs. Naylor, an RBI single in the 3rd. 6-run 5th inning for Cleveland. Yeah, it's kind of what it was all about. Marlins infielder Emmanuel Rivera pitched a 1-hit 9th. He threw 11 pitches, the fastest being 85.2 miles an hour, and he was the 2nd best pitcher on the Marlins team today behind Branzaban. Cronin, terrible. 3rd of an inning, 4 runs, given up an unearned run. Yeah, it was his error. Ryan Weathers with a left index finger strain on the 15-day IL. Left the start after 2 1/3 innings yesterday, so their best pitcher now goes on the IL. And they face Carlos Carrasco with the 1-7 Trevor Rogers on the bump tomorrow. 1-7. Send him down. Send him with Munoz. Get out of here. Go. I mean, for real. That's how I feel about it. Just go. If you're not going to perform to big league standards and it's going to be consistent, you don't belong in the big leagues. Go. Send him down. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We all aspire to get to the big leagues. And when we get there, we better perform. I have a trainer, a coach, good friend of mine, got me in the best shape of my life. Tells me all the time. I work for ESPN. I have some big shows, big gigs. This one at Locked On. We have 83 million people across the network. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Don't play your way off the field. Play your way on it, then don't play your way off. You got to perform at a big league level when you're in the big leagues. This just in. Locked On Marlins postcast. Thank you for making us such an important part of your day. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We love having you here wherever you get your podcasts, and of course here on YouTube. Locked On Sports Miami. Going to tell you about another one of our valued partners here in just a second, and we'll preview Game 3 of the series. It is 1-1. The Marlins can still win the series, and doing that against the first-place 40-win team is a huge win. Good thing about baseball, day in and day out, you forget about that game. Doesn't matter if it was 5-4 or 8-0. You get it going again tomorrow. This is your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Oh, you see the prize picks coming up, baby. The prize picks coming up. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Your Locked On Marlins postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. Let me say that again. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It's the most fun, exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. All you do is pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. It's very, very simple. Who doesn't want to do that, right? With Prize Picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports all summer long. It takes you as little as 60 seconds to make a Prize Picks lineup. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you are locked in. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has you covered every week, from lowering select players' stats projections on Tuesdays, which increases your chance of getting a win, to getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. Every day is a day where you can win on Prize Picks. They're America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. They crush baseball season. No better way to cash in on the action than Prize Picks. Add your favorite players from the diamond to your Prize Picks lineups all season long. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, like the Guardians got one today, take your pick of more or less and add them to your Prize Picks lineup today. And for June only, there's always action on Prize Picks. This is the perfect time to try out something new as basketball is winding down. Make sure to try out esports this month, because for every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Choose from Counter-Strike 2, Call of Duty, League of Legends, and more with Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. Repeat, download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100 with Prize Picks. So good, I had to repeat it again there at the end. Speaking of repeating myself and speaking of being so good I have to, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV. Flexing on that one in the free Fire TV channels app. It's Locked On Sports Today. It's here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On and our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available in the free Fire TV channels app. Here we go, almost at the end. Thank you one more time for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your most important listen every single day. We're free, we're available wherever you get your podcasts and on the YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. And the Marlins and Guardians will wrap this puppy up tomorrow at 1:40 Eastern, first pitch from Lone Depot Park in the MIA. Yo, Trevor Rogers, 1-7. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is not a good place for him this year. There's a team like Cleveland there too. Man, Carrasco is going to pitch. And how about this? Carlos Carrasco, if you're a Guardian starting pitcher right now, I mean, everybody, like, you got 6-3. You got Logan with 6 wins. You got 5 wins for Lively. Is it 6 wins now for Lively? Yeah, he's won his 5th straight start. So now you got Carrasco, who's the one guy who hasn't really gotten it going in that rotation. He's 6'4", 225, got the build, got the stuff. But, man, he's been not doing so great. 5 earned runs in 4 innings pitched on 7 hits against Washington. They're not that good his last time out. But 5 runs allowed against the White Sox, who are a terrible team, 2 starts before that. 8 earned runs against Houston on the road and a 10-9 loss back in April. That ballooned the ERA a little bit, but a chance for the Marlins offensively to get something going. I would take the over in tomorrow's game. There you go. There's your odds advice right here on the show. I mean, this one here is Cleveland is at -105, -125 for Miami with a 1-7 pitcher on the mound, but the over-under is 8.5. 8.5. How about that on that one? So you might want to go big because you got 2-5 with a 5.66 against 1-7 with a 5.68. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can. Yes, I can. The whip is 1.5 for Carrasco, 1.75 for Rogers. And, yeah, these guys, I mean, Rogers has walked 27 hitters in 57 innings, giving up 73 hits and 7 home runs. Yikes, Rooney. I can't believe I just said that the way that I just said that. But anyway, point being, this is a game where you probably want to take the over. That being said, it'll be a 1-0 pitcher's duel. You know, Rogers, his last time out, let me just get you back to Rogers here. It's a merrily day for the beauty would you be mine? Against Texas, he allowed 4 earned runs in 6 innings. San Diego before that, though, 5 1/3, only 1 earned run. And who could forget, all the way back on May 15th, a 2-0 win over Detroit. Detroit, how about M&M and Jelly Roll? 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, and 6 strikeouts, because we know Rogers has it in him, right? But if he doesn't start doing it, what do? Send him down. Send him down. Don't let Munoz unpack his bags. Go back to Jacksonville. You deserve to be in Florida, not Miami. Anyway, the Marlins lose 8-0. The Guardians with the shutout win. They're a 41-win team. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's 5-4 or 8-0. You put it in the rear view. You move on to tomorrow. I love this team, and I just want to see the players on this team, starting pitchers, even the bullpen guy, I want to see them give this team what it deserves. I want these starting pitchers to keep that bullpen in the games because the bullpen deserves it. I want the guys on this offense who haven't been pulling their weight to do it. Bell's been hitting the ball great lately. About time. Let's go, Jake Berger. Come on, Nick Gordon. Let's go. Come on. Let's start getting things going. DLC's got to shake himself out of this slump as well, and I know he can do that also. But man, oh man, what a tough one today for the Miami Marlins. They fall to, what did they fall to? Of course, right when I need it, it disappears from the screen. Isn't that the way it always goes? 22-42, 12-24 at home, 41-22, and 20-14 on the road for Cleveland. And just not a good day for the Miami Marlins. The winning pitcher was Ben Lively. He goes to 6-2. He's won 5 straight starts, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. The loser is Munoz for Miami. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Send him down. And yeah, the Marlins offensively, all they could do was manage 4 hits, one of them an infield single, and they struck out 9 more times today. They got 1 runner into scoring position. See if they can turn things around tomorrow and still win the series, right? Been playing much better baseball. They've only won 2 games in June. They've lost 5 out of 6, but they're much better than they had been. And that is a very telling stat. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more for the Mad Dog Jim Mandich. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. 8-0. The Guardians pound the Marlins. Game 3 tomorrow, 1:40, first pitch. And Trevor Rogers against Carlos Carrasco is the pitching matchup. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Marlins fans. We'll talk to you tomorrow after the game with your Locked On Marlins postcast because, as for right now, we are out.